A few weeks ago, Miles from the AI Edge dropped something powerful, an all-encompassing, fully custom system to help you run your business and your life. He personally calls it the biggest upgrade AI has ever made to his life. So today, I'm going to be building it here with you. If we haven't met yet, hi, I'm Josh Boucher, founder of Blackfish AI. We help business owners find their biggest wins with AI, and then we build them a custom solution. Some clients rescue 20 hours out of every work week, and others find 6 figures of revenue sitting in their pipeline. If you're interested in learning more, head to the description where you can book a free one-on-one discovery call with me to discover the possibilities. Now, let's get dangerous. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is attach community assets 1 and 2. These are part of his original video. If you go through the link in his description, you can join his group on Instagram, where there is a link to a Google Drive full of the free assets for all of his videos. I'm curious about setting up this personal assistant. I'm not exactly sure where to start, but the beginning of these assets told me to just give it to you and it'll show you to walk me through the steps. And in fact, I am going to switch off Fable 5. It really burns through your credits, this new model. It's fun, but you have to use it a completely different way than, any of the Claude's other models. I might actually be doing another video specifically on Fable 5, but yeah, while it's reading the files, first of all, that is what we're supposed to do. Is just plug it in and have Claude walk us through the steps. Really cool thing about AI is it's the first tool humans have ever created that can tell us how to use it, Okay, well, this is interesting. I've had a package of custom skills and stuff already made with my Claude that I call my AIOS. And so what I was hoping to do was put this together with that, and it appears as though that may be a bit more complicated than I originally thought. Okay, good news is you already have a lot of the stack covered, just for you recommended by the guide first class Next.js support. Yeah, I do already have a couple of things in Railway, so it is possible we can use that. Cards do you actually want? The guide has operator and session, calendar, habits, CRM, nutrition, goals, and finance pulse. Oh, okay. I was curious how we track our net worth with this system, because the finance platforms that, for example, I have my Roth IRA on, it doesn't actually have an API. So I was curious as to how it seems as though I manually track it and put it into it, and then it'll reflect that in it'll work. It'll just be, another thing I need to do in the day. It's not going to be that big of a deal because I keep my personal budgets and stuff in Google Sheets. Yep, I use Google Calendar, Next.js. All right, and here we go. I have answered its 5 questions, and let's have a look at this as soon as it finishes. Yeah, okay. So for context for you guys, the AIOS is based on a couple of skills that I was learning to set up in another group. They were pretty awesome, but all of them were local, and I'm limited to not the best of hardware right now, so I wasn't too happy with local stuff. I started backing things up to, Railway, to N8N. As soon as Claude routines, I started playing around with that, and they're pretty awesome, by the way. But I wanted to make sure all of those things could communicate with this Next.js stuff that we are going to be setting up. And it looks like it can. Yep. Real integration spline is Supabase. I already got that. Railway versus Vercel is the right call for Next.js specifically, and it's actually free for personal use. Railway is better at what you already use it for. Long-running Python processes, always-on services. Mixing them is the right architecture, not a compromise. Railway handles your bots and collectors. Vercel handles the dashboard. They share Supabase as the data layer. Okay, Awesome. Integration wins you get immediately. Looks great. Before we scaffold anything to quick decisions, we definitely want to use a new branch in our existing bot. In terms of the Supabase project, I'd like to use existing tables as much as possible just to make sure everything stays streamlined. It's okay to branch out whenever we have to, but I would like to keep that to a minimum as much as possible. Okay, before we scaffold anything, existing data lives in 2 places, not 1. Okay, that's not great. We want to, first of all, we want to synthesize all that into the Supabase. We don't want anything living anywhere else. We want the Supabase to be like the source of truth for all our execution layer stuff. Minimal change to existing code. Yeah, we definitely want to synthesize all the data to Supabase. None of it can live anywhere else because the execution layer never pulls from the SQLite on Railway. What would the process of unifying those data sources look like? Oh, never mind. It had a plan that covers that. Okay, I've never had the AI be one step ahead of me. That's kind of funny. Where should the project live? I'd put it at apps personal OS inside this workplace. And the Supabase URL and keys are already in your .env. I've been really wanting to get Whisperflow. Key figures in the industry like Liam Otley and Dan Martell have some great things to say about Whisperflow. I can't wait to start integrating that into my tech stack. Holy crap, guys, that took 20 minutes. And look at everything it's been able to put together. Like, still installing, it's a big package. Guys, look at this, 288 packages installed. Ran 2 commands, used 2 tools, used 3 tools, used 2 tools again. Guys, if you tried doing this, even just 12 months ago with like ChatGPT 5, I think was the leading model of the day, it could have done maybe 0.5% of this work in the same turn, and then it would need human input to keep going. And then you know what? It would probably need human input on like what it did, because what it did was full of, mistakes and stuff that the human would need to go in and fix. This is awesome. I wish I had this a year ago. Not to say that you should be like waiting for the perfect time to get in on AI, because, if I thought, if 12 months ago I thought, oh, I'll just wait and until the tech is better and then it'll be a good time to get in. Actually, no, because then I would have been competing with people who did start 12 months ago, and they would be 12 months ahead of me. That's how business works in the real world. So your best time to get into AI was 12 months ago. Your second best time is right frickin' now. So that's my bit for you, I guess. Where does it tell me what the password is to like sign in on this OS so I can localhost 3000? Guys, I think I could deploy this to like a website, which means I could access this from like any browser, mobile, desktop, anywhere. Oh, how freaking sick would that be? Before we can proceed to the cards, you need to fill in your .env local. You also need to run the SQL migration against your Supabase project. Paste the contents of that into the Supabase SQL editor. Okay, cool. That I can do. Okay, I've just finished updating the env local as well as creating the tables in Supabase for the migration. Do not repeat any values from the env local here in the chat, and remember to also add it to .getignore. Little quirk of the Claude voice to text is sometimes it gets things wrong, so you have to stop it, go back and, type it right, and then that's done. Yeah, let's go ahead and start building the actual cards. Operator card first, like you said. Oh, okay, so the stuff so any file name, that starts with .env is already added to the .getignore. That is great news. All my API keys and stuff are in there, so I've got to be very, very careful how those files get treated. Same thing for you guys. If you consider building this, I would absolutely recommend it. I know a guy in the AI industry who used to work in Silicon Valley, and he swears by a productivity manager called TickTick, kind of a productivity app. And really cool thing it could do is it could sync with your calendar, and then it will like auto prioritize your to-do list and then create it into an action plan and slot it into your calendar. So like your day is planned minute by minute. Really, really cool stuff. This thing can do everything TickTick can do, plus everything Lovable can do, plus everything ChatGPT can do, plus like a bazillion other things that I'm just beginning to learn. So it's pretty crazy. To say I'm obsessed with this thing just doesn't even scratch the surface. The password in my ENV local doesn't work when I try to sign into the post preview. Okay, had a couple kinks to work out, but it is otherwise looking pretty good. Let's take a look at these. What do we have? It looks like we do not have any of the other tabs set up just yet, but all the cards are there on the home page, so that's pretty sick. Okay, the sign-in finally worked, and the dashboard looks pretty good. Where do we go from here? Okay, finish the operator card. Next up is session card, calendar card, and habit tracker. Yes, let's start with this session card. I really have no idea what this thing can do, so I'm kind of just going along with a tutorial that AI Edge is designed. Session card needs a real-time timer, so it's a full client component. Is what it'll do. Set a focus title, start, pause, stop a timer, save completed sessions to today's daily logs entry in Supabase. Okay, first the daily log API, then the card. This is interesting. The card is live. Here's what it does, but I don't see it on the preview. I don't see it in the preview. Where is it? Oh shoot, it's gonna pull from the URL for the Google Calendar. I left that blank because you said I could when I set the ENV local. Where would I get the iCal URL from? It don't have one. It gives you a private iCal URL for each calendar. Here's how to get it. Okay, the calendar is up, so we're seeing events come in from my Google Calendar. Great. Looks great. Let's move on to habit tracker. Store daily completions and daily logs, .notes.habits. Check boxes that reach set each day. Then add habit option to customize the list. We reset tomorrow for a habit to reveal the X to remove it, and add habit to build your own list. That's pretty sick, honestly, because that's like the main thing I was worried about is how I'm gonna like customize these habits. Yeah, defaults are probably not your actual habits. Yes, ready for the next card. So is Finance Pulse the card that shows your net worth? Next time it runs, it will push Stripe and expense data to the daily snapshot Supabase table, and the card will show real numbers. The problem is I like that idea, but it's not always. In fact, here, let me explain it to Claude. I like that idea, but the data sources are not the right ones. The expense data, for example, only comes from a Google Sheet that gets automatically populated from receipts received by my business email. Handy, but it doesn't catch everything. Same with the Stripe. All that catches is the revenue generated by my business. I would like some kind of system could track my entire net worth, and that would require tracking the live transaction data on both my personal and business bank accounts, which I believe is possible through the data. Then the Plaid API would be more fact-based data source, which is a problem given that I don't have my separate business bank account set up yet. Or how do you think we should go about setting this up? And API or fact-based data source. Okay. Leave finance pulls showing business data from Stripe expenses. Finish the remaining dashboard cards and then create a plan for Plaid integration as a follow once a business account exists. Okay. Yeah. Let's do that. Can you pull the data that's there currently so then the finance pulse has something to show? See, this is why everybody tells you to do voice. You can just talk so much faster than you can type. It currently says no snapshot. Yeah, screw this. Make sure it only counts the paid receipts in Stripe, since some of them are outstanding. Supabase URL is missing from the root.n. It's in there under the name database URL. I added it again as the Supabase URL because changing it might break something else that we have in place already. The database URL is a PostgreSQL connection string. Dude, that's literally the same thing. This is another thing. If you did this a year ago with ChatGPT 5, you would have to be telling it what the next step is. Now you don't need to know nothing. You can just ask it what the next thing to do is. It's crazy how easy this stuff has gotten. Pushed, now refresh the dashboard. Finance Pulse should show real numbers. It doesn't. I don't know what to tell you, but it still shows me the no snapshot yet screen. The query returns an empty array with 200 status. Run this in Supabase SQL Editor to fix it. Alright, and after that, we refresh the dashboard. That Control-Shift-R isn't doing anything to the preview window. Okay, building the goals card. Shows no goals yet. Add one below with the add goal button. I don't see an add goal button. Is it because it's hiding behind preview functions button in the bottom left of the preview window? Or is it because there isn't one yet? Oh yeah, there it is. Add goal. Nice. Oh, awesome. How does it figure out what the deadline for the goals are? Like, is this card for weekly goals or monthly goals or annual goals or lifetime goals? Right now, it doesn't. There's no deadline or time horizon on goals. It's just a persistent checklist with optional category labels and no time concept at all. Interesting. My recommendation, add a horizon field instead of a deadline date. Something like that's more useful than a specific date for most goals, and it lets you filter and organize without the overhead of date picking. The card could show goals grouped by horizon with a small badge next to the category. Didn't Miles have a cool way to figure this out in the original? I'm attaching the docs for your reference. Once again, community assets 1 and 2 from the video. Okay, we will call that enough for today. CRM, tasks, and nutrition are the next cards that we have to set up. So stay tuned for episode 2, guys. Maybe I'll also get to post this thing as a big compilation at the end. That'd be pretty sick. By the way, I have started doing more in-depth AI assessments for businesses where I interview key employees to find out where the pain points actually are, because what I've found out in the industry is that a lot more people are excited to implement AI than who actually know where they need AI in their business. So if you'd like to lift that fog and start getting more bang for your buck with a custom system, hit me up. My Calendly link for a free discovery call is in the description. And as always, be sure to leave a like, share your thoughts with the class, and before you subscribe, make sure you know what you're doing, because it ain't easy being at the top. I'll see you guys next time.
Black fin cutting through the blazing rain. Thunder rolling, but I ride the wave again. Deep tide rising, hear the echo call. Born of the fury.